Well, guys, good afternoon from a very sunny Aberdeen. I'm Scott185. You guys are super welcome to come on this two-stop trip. We're going from Aberdeen to Newcastle and then across the Irish Sea down to Dublin. So two short hops in the A320 operating as EasyJet today. Pretty quiet up here in Aberdeen. The weather is pretty good too. So I'm not expecting massive delays getting out of here. I think we're pretty much the only person here. There was an EasyJet that just took off probably about 5 minutes before we came on the stream. Got a few new tools we'll show you in terms of a pushback tool that makes planning a lot easier. And so we'll get underway. Let's jump in the cockpit as we normally do, get things turned on and set up. So batteries. We've got external power. Start aligning up the navigation GPSs. And then we'll get on the fuel pumps. And we'll start the APU as well. Pro P2 and APU bleed. Cruise supply for oxygen. Turn the lights up on top here. And we'll get seatbelt signs. Prep for people getting on. It's all good. Let's turn the lights up here so you guys can see all the bells and whistles and dials. Otherwise, I won't be able to see, and you guys won't know what's going on. Let's get the lights on here, and then we'll come down to this panel, and we'll get our flight plan in from SimBrief. So we're going from Aberdeen to Newcastle. Doesn't seem to have a flight number, but that's all good. We can type that in as usual. 185. Oh, it went in. And we're put BA in. So we're EasyJet, obviously 185, going up to 24,000 feet. We will start boarding some people, just to make sure that we have some passengers. So we'll send that. Full 174. Popular route, obviously down to old Aberdeen. Again with the mod. Looking in the background here. Everyone getting on. It's the sun setting. Still winter, obviously in the UK, and the further north you are, the darker it gets earlier. Just bring in our flight plan into the iPad. Fuel, saying about 5,000. We'll take a little bit more just in case. 5,200. And that's refueling. Turn the brightness up here so you guys can see. Oh. What's going on the lower display. So we're refueling and we're just waiting for the GPS to align. That's all good. We'll turn off these screens over here because we don't need them, and it will save some frame rates as we get underway. Let's get all that brightened up. We'll come down here. So there's no air traffic control online in Aberdeen, such as its popularity. So we'll just flick on our weather radar. Doesn't really work at the moment anyway. And predictive wind shear. Just turn on our transponder. It's got 2000, and then if we encounter air traffic control, they'll give us a new one. And we'll just move that to TARA. Which is good. In terms of departure from Aberdeen, going to go out on runway 16. The wind is favouring that at the moment, so the winds in Aberdeen, if we come over to the iPad and go 190 at 10 knots, so that works. Small crosswind. It's really weird. There's a couple of SIDs available. Let's go into the plan here and zoom out. So it just wants us to go to direct to Glesk. I wonder if we put one of these in, what the impact is. Not very much really, it's just a left turn right. So we'll just go direct to Glesk and see what that does. Let's just add a wee bit there actually. Let's insert that. And then we'll go out to Aberdeen, 2 miles away, and then right to Lavty and into Glesk. I think that all went in, he says. Hoping that it did. Yeah, Perth basically. And then into Newcastle itself, we will be coming in on, at the moment, runway 07. That's our lovely cabin crew. And just have a quick flick through the SID. I've seen more and more on SimBrief that it doesn't actually give you the a suggested SID. It just says basically get your final waypoint and then make your own way there, which works that point. But we know that we're coming in from the north, so let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer, and cabin crew, I'd like to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to receive final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. So there's not that many good approaches, to be honest, into Newcastle. They all come from the south, from the north. I think we can just guide ourselves, so we'll do that. Keep it fairly simple. Just do no star, and then we'll just vector ourselves, which is all good. We'll come out of plan here. We're going up to 24,000 feet today, and given that the SID has no constraints, we'll click it, but I doubt it will do anything. So refueling's done. We've got everyone on board. Let's do our weight and balance, get the fuel confirmed. That'll populate. It's all good. Performance, one stage of flap for taking off. Get our V numbers in. So that'll populate what we need to take off by. So you'll see here 141 matches 141 is your V2 speeds. It knows then when we should be, in essence, taking off. So cool. Well, that's that bit all done. Let's get this done. It's this cool new tool that has been updated, so we can push back now. There isn't a tug here, I don't think, that is going to be populated, but in essence, what this does is shows you where you want to be pushed back to, so you can zoom out, zoom in as much as you want, and then we can turn the aircraft. So we probably want to come to back here. You can zoom in if you want to get a bit more. No, didn't want to do that. Yeah, you can get a bit more accuracy if you zoom in. So let's just bonk ourselves here, and then you can move obviously elsewhere, move it different ways, but we don't want to do that. Hit enter, and then when we're ready, we'll get the pushback coming in. As I say, outside, there's not much happening really. It's pretty quiet in Aberdeen. I'm not sure how much air traffic control we'll have, but all good. We can have a quiet flight and you guys can just watch as we go along. So, I think we're ready to push and start. Obviously the iris is, the navigation is still aligning. It's got 2 minutes to do it, but I found you can push and push back even with that happening, and it's not the end of the world. So let's push back and see what happens. wonder if it'll work if there's not a tug here. We'll see. If not, we might just do it manually. Yeah, I might not do it just because there's no tug. Backup that we can use. Let's close that for the moment. There we go. Have another program that does it. Cool. Let's get the engine started. Shame that doesn't work. But I guess if there's no tug at Aberdeen, then there's no tug. Not sure how everyone gets out of here though. So just pushing back onto the shell line. We'll be heading out basically from here, taxi down here and out to runway 16 and then take off. Not many people around, pretty quiet. It's a nice little flight to try. Let's just get that brightness turned right up. There we go. Might be a little bit on the grass, but let's ignore that. Let's have a look around. Nah, it's never in doubt. Never in doubt. Let's get some flaps in. Just arm the brakes in case we have a rejected takeoff. Turn off the APU. Should have hit beacon first, but...
Flight attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
Okay. That's all good. We'll sit up there, we'll turn on our taxi light, even though it's the middle of the day. Got strobe and nav set up. You'll see we are ready to go.
Safety is our top priority, so we appreciate it.
Let them do the safety briefing in the back while we get underway.
You can follow along with the safety information card in your seat back pocket. Do fasten your seatbelt as there's a flat metal edge into the buckle and pull on the strap tight. Release should lift the top half of the buckle. Please keep your seatbelt back and low and tight across your lap. Keep the seatbelt sign is off and have it visible to the crew at all times. Your life vest is in a pouch under your seat. If instructed by the crew, tear open the pouch, put your vest and pull it over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist. Secure the buckle and pull the strap tight. As you exit the aircraft, place the vest buckle and strap firmly on the red tab while going into the tubes on both sides. The locator light on the shoulder will turn on automatically when we're heading over never.
1 second team, let's just...
There
There we go. I think it thought that I had a tug stuck in front of me, which I very much did not. So, this gets our way out to runway 06. We'll head out. We're not using... Yeah, you can see like for the instrument departures, basically right turn and then we head down towards Glesk. Oh, pretty easy. Let's have a look at the taxi route. So, heading out, not this first left, but second left. Then we'll go down Mike, down to Mike 9. So, left turn here. We'll be heading down that grey strip there. config check just to make sure everything's set up, which it is. It's quite a nice evening here. I think it's quite windy, as with everything in Scotland, but sun's shining. That was good. I think there's any aircraft anywhere near Aberdeen at the moment, so we are kind of free to do what we want. But we just do a rolling takeoff and get off the ground. So as I said, we're going down to Newcastle. We'll do a quick turnaround at Newcastle, let people jump off, and then we'll head over to Dublin. You guys having good Sundays and relaxed Sundays. I'll just make a blind call just so people know. Aberdeen traffic, easy 185, taking off runway 16. Let's go, that was just on Unicom so people know that we are departing if there was anyone around. I've got a map that basically shows who's online, and it is quiet up here today, very quiet. Let's go if you've never flown online before. We always say go from a quiet airport and then you can practice. So that's lined up. We'll just do a rolling takeoff. Ready to go. Feel the speed. Okay, we should probably see where we're going. Start wandering over the cockpit and the runway. A bit up and down this runway. That's our 141 knots, so we can go back gently. And have a little look out. Big gear up. We're heading out over the sea. That's the city of Aberdeen down there. Great little place. The autopilot, and we move these back into lever climb as normal, and that just lets the autopilot take over our climb out. It's our right turn that we're commencing down towards Glesk. So if we have a look on the map, I wonder if we can see it here. Yeah, so we're following this right turn here towards Latvia, and then we'll take a left turn down to Glesk and then head down to Perth. Beautiful evening. So guys, if you're new to the channel, as everyone says, hit the like button and subscribe. We do this loads during the week. I say loads when we have time. Just about to bring the flaps up, so we'll go give you what it looks like from the cabin. Here they come. Through some light clouds. Yeah, so do this a lot. Fly in real life, but for fun. This is a hobby, but hopefully it helps you guys get into the hobby and learn how to use things like Vatsim and online air traffic control. So it's not long down to Newcastle. It'll be about 45 minutes flight. We'll park up there, grab a cup of tea, and then we'll go again over to Dublin. First time we've done two streams back to back, or two airports should I say, in one stream. Which hopefully is something different. Grab some subscribers as we go down, get them on and they can see what we do. flick to standard pressure, and that means we use flight levels when we're in standard. It just means that everyone flies is using the same pressure setting, which means that you won't get people conflicting at different altitudes because of different pressure settings. Going up to 24,000 feet. We're pretty light today, so the rate of climb is pretty powerful. But yeah, nice day outside. Got a bit of a headwind, which you may be able to see, but there's a bit of sun glare. But down here, 7 knots. So this is us climbing. This is our speed, and this is the route we're taking. And use this button, you can zoom in and out. It's basically looping down in a kind of loop. I'm not really sure why it doesn't give you a route just directly, but it doesn't seem to like that. It could be something to do with the military on the coast where they're practicing. Unsure. Let's just check. Yeah, I thought that might be. Want to get rid of that discontinuity? Should we check for that before we take off? And it's a bit random because it seems to want to go back on itself. So let's clear out Glesk from here. And I think the next one down below. Oh, there's loads of discontinuities here, so let's clear them quickly before we get ourselves in a bit of a pickle. Has that worked? Yeah, there we go. And it's got Asnad and Gask. Yeah, something's gone. So we go Glesk to Perth. Then it wants to come back up to Yankee and Asnad. Let's I think that's just because I was putting in a SID that then in essence overlaid the original flight plan. So if we do that, it should be going Glesk direct to Perth, and then down to Findu, Idnu. That should work. If we go back on ourselves, we'll sort it out. But I'm pretty sure that little loop there is going to disappear. There we go. It's caught up with itself. Back on track. Cool guys. So really quick flight down to Newcastle. And then we'll use the same call sign, but get ourselves over to Newcastle. It won't take long at all. We will be there in about half an hour, I think. And then from there we will jump over to Dublin. The weather's just as good over there. Got plans for general aviation streams as well, which hopefully will be interesting to you guys. Do that at some stage. Should probably lock the door. There we go. Going down the east coast. A lot of green down there, a lot of fields. And we're just creeping our way up to 24,000 feet. And soon I'm sure it'll ask for our destination data because it is a very, very quick flight. Some cloud, it's just the glare from the setting sun. Let's have to go outside. Yeah. Nice. Some light clouds. Simulators really come on. Trying to see where we are on the map so you guys get an idea. So, we took off, coming down here. Get down, this is round about where Dundee is. Come down just past Edinburgh. Take a little left turn towards Newcastle, which is on the coast. You can do this by train, so we're probably going a bit over the top by flying it, but Newcastle's actually fairly small as an airport, and so there are a lot of regional flights that come out. You can go to Belfast, you go to Heathrow from Newcastle, so not totally unrealistic. So let's get ourselves set up for Newcastle. We'll get just the weather. So again in here, AOC menu, WX is weather. Hit send, and then we'll wait for the message to pop up here. There it is, company message. So we go back, go to receive messages, Metar. You could just read it on the screen if you really want to, but you have the technology to print it out. You can see it's flashed up, enter destination data, grab the bit of paper and come down and type it in. Apologies if that's jerking around. Next phase, you want to get on this approach. We've already got runway 07 in there. And
ladies and gentlemen, once again for the flight deck, your captain speaking.
That is the captain. He's so American. What are we, 100 at 5 knots for the wind?
Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley carts shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from
Temperature
congregating with the
is
front galley
8
where the flight deck
degrees.
door is located. Thank you.
QNH 1031. Transition altitude 7,000 is fine. All good. So that's a setup. We're at 24,000 feet, just coming smoothly down the country. We just set up our descent calculator. So we sync this up. I want to get down to about, let's do 5,000 feet from about 80 miles away. Yeah, cool. It just means that we know when we want to set up our descent profile. So we've got our 80-mile marker. So as we get near to Newcastle, we'll start descending. I'm not quite sure what the approach is going to do for us, but we'll figure that one out as we get nearer to the airport. It seems to just have it going direct from Native, and we know the runway is 07, so it'll be going that way. So we probably want to go. I think Native is basically over the top of the airport, so we might just set ourselves up on a downwind actually. Come here, turn in towards the runway. But we'll be coming that way. I was getting confused with these radios, but yeah, no, we'll come down here and just give ourselves, so probably come down on a base leg and join straight in. Should be all good. So we probably want to be at Agaped around about 5,000 feet. So we're getting close to Edinburgh. Just taking our left turn now. This little inlet, you can see the world famous Edinburgh bridges down there. That means Edinburgh Airport's in amongst there as well. So I hope this all goes okay. It's the first time I've had to do a turnaround live on stream. So that's some Edinburgh departures that we can hear below us. Just talking. They're just telling people where they're going to go. So I think we'll start our departure fairly, sorry, our descent fairly soon.
15 miles out for runway 06. Edinburgh traffic, Papa Alpha Charlie, leaving traffic pattern, departure from runway 06.
We'll just start a gentle descent now into Newcastle. Just about 1500 feet a minute. Does that have to be too aggressive? That's Edinburgh Airport down there. You can see a blinking light, which is an aircraft taking off. They're taking off in that direction. City of Edinburgh down there. So as you can see, started our descent. I'm sure the captain will start shouting about it.
Deck, ladies and gentlemen. As you may have noticed, we began our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for our approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
There you go. Everyone soared. So yeah, you can see we're descending at 1500 feet on the vertical speed, which is what we've set up here. To do that, just set your height here, toggle it using this, and then you can toggle your rate of descent, and then you just pull it down towards you to engage it. So it's just a bit of estimates of when to start descending. This airplane at the moment, in terms of the way it's designed in the simulator, doesn't calculate it for you and manage it for you. You have to do it yourself at the moment. But I know the team working on the Flybywire A320 absolutely have that in mind and are developing it. Super lucky to have this as well when it's free. So as we said when we took off, there's not really a standard arrival into Newcastle. And so we're really going to basically leave this waypoint and guide ourselves in. Is the plan. We'll see what happens when we get a little bit nearer. Some pretty rugged terrain just as we cross into England. If we want to have a look at what Newcastle airport's like, and it's quite a small little airport. There's taxi, airport information. So we're going to land on runway 07, which is here. All the terminals are down here, so we will land, try and exit by Charlie. But we'll see. If not, we'll go right to the end. Come all the way back down the taxiway, park up, and then get ready to go again. Can see our calculations going. Distance of 80 miles, we only need to send at 600 feet. Let's do vertical speed of 1500. So, at the moment, we only need to be 40 miles out to get down to that level, which will be around here, so we can reduce slightly our descent rate. Hi Peter, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. Yeah, you're right Peter, so not a multiplayer, but I'm using something called Vatsim, which if you've not used it before is an online network for air traffic control. So it's not done through the flight simulator multiplayer, it's done through a separate program, which, if we get a second mate, I will type it in chat for you. Should come up hopefully for you soon Peter, but that's the link. That's what I use. So it's live air traffic control. Not every airport's covered, depends who is online at what time. But yeah, there are other airplanes flying around at the moment. It's just a bit more realistic than the multiplayer where you get everyone sort of flying around and piling into each other, so this is a bit more realistic. But at the moment it's quiet. It's Sunday, I think. There's not many who are online. Just look at who's coming into Newcastle. There is another airplane, which could be interesting. Let me just check arrival times. 6:22. Yeah. There's British Airways coming into Newcastle. That will be there at a very similar time to us. If we can alter our approach slightly, let's just go into the flight plan. I don't really want to go via Nateb anymore, I want to go direct from Agped. That should work quite nicely. Yeah, so we'll come in and approach that way. Just gonna flip from vertical speed to open descent in a second by clicking down there. What that will do is when we get nearer to 10,000 feet, it will slow the airplane down so that we are not exceeding 250 knots below 10,000 feet, which is the speed limits in the sky. Turn on our localizer just so we are aware of that. So you'll see the nose is coming up slightly, and that's because as you raise the nose, the speed goes down, and it's because we're getting near 10,000 feet, so it needs to slow down to this 250 knots here, and then it will start to descend again once it's controlled its speed. So yeah, Peter, hopefully that helps, mate, if you've had a look at that Vatsim link. Loads of videos on how to get started on Vatsim on YouTube, and quite a lot. If you go through the channel, you'll see some tutorials about how to use it, how to talk to air traffic control. So we're going to come into Agped. It's a right and then a left straight into Newcastle itself. Just set up so we've got some auto brake, medium, and what we might end up doing is just doing a bit of a hold at Agped. Maybe we'll do that. Let's see. Just because it's another aircraft coming in from the south that has made themselves aware, and so what we don't want to do is conflict with each other. So there's a number of options we could do. We could come here and extend our downwind, base, and then long final. We could hold over this waypoint, do a couple of laps before to let that person in. We'll see. Have to be flexible. All pretty capable. But we're due to arrive 2 minutes apart at the moment, so that could be interesting. Bit of cloud cover. As we come in. Yeah, not too bad an evening in the UK. Some sunshine out and about. So, what we're going to do, guys, is we're just going to practice a hold here, because I think there is going to be an aircraft coming in. I wonder if we can do it. Let's try it and see, right? So, we're going to Agped, hold, and see how it's gone yellow here. Let's just do that. We'll insert that. And so it now knows that we're going to hold at Agped as we come in, and you can see it's on the map here. So it's got the race course. you see we're about to take up the hold. And that means we can just sit here and wait for that other aircraft to go in, and then we'll follow them in.
Newcastle traffic, good afternoon. This is A320 reacting around the visual runway 07, and we're just about there, 20 nautical miles away from the south.
So that was a guy there. Can't really hear him brilliantly. But we can see him now on our TCAS. So it's that person here. So he's coming in. So we just hold here. Pretty happy, just sit in the hold and wait.
185, can you say how far you are from runway 07?
We are just taking up the hold actually at Agped, so we'll do a couple of laps and let you in. So if you just let us know when you're turning final, we'll then leave the hold, usually 185.
Thank you so much, I'll let you know. 1328, thank you.
No problem. So, we're kind of being polite here. We could have just steamed in, which would have been easier, but good time to practice holding in the A320. As you can see, it turns into a racetrack.
Newcastle traffic, Speedway Charlie Echo, loaded up runway 07, departed by the girl who went to...
There's a lot of people coming into Newcastle. What's going on? You imagine it's such a popular airport. So, we're just holding 220 knots. We can we'll confirm the approach phase once we leave the hold, but you can see the airplane's doing quite nicely. It just follows this racetrack round, and then when we're ready, we'll leave the hold. We'll probably just wait to hear for that guy to go, but what we can do while we're in the hold is start descending. And this is what would normally happen if you're on a busy event at one of the Vatsim events. There might be close to 30 or 40 people trying to approach, and they'll put you in a hold like this, stack you up, and then you descend down in the hold. So we'd enter a lot higher, and then just in the race course route here, the racetracks, we would slowly descend. So each aircraft descends at one after each other, and then we get to that point. The reason this is flashing standard, it's telling us that at the moment we're still in standard, and we should be, if we pull that up, in local QNH. And that just means we have to descend further because of a difference in the QNH. The reason for that is the transition level. We went through it. That's quite loud.
Newcastle traffic, Speedway Charlie Echo, departed runway 07.
Shush. Yeah, if I do that, there we go. Better. So we'll just keep descending down to 4,000. Cool. So, a bit longer probably than we thought our approach would take. But it's better just to, if you're unsure where someone is, you can enter the hold pretty easily and just let them do their thing. I think we probably could have got in before them, but we'll go around once and then see where he is. We can always do a second lap. So that's...
Traffic, 1328 is currently turning right for final runway 07. We are okay, 8 mile final. Gas traffic.
There we go. So that's him going in, and probably leave the hold in a second just to follow him in. And you can also see the aircraft that was taking off, which is here. Actually can't see the one who's on approach. Oh, there he is. I wonder if we can zoom in a bit more. There we go. So this is the person who's coming to land, and that's the person who's just taken off. This guy's 1,500 feet below us. So we'll just go, we'll keep descending down to 3,000 in the hold. there's a little arrow next to them, it means they're descending, and he's climbing. A bit boring for the passengers in the back, they just get to see things going round in circles constantly. What we can do is also then just activate the approach phase, and that will slow us slightly down. So we're still in the hold, but what we'll do is we'll leave it.
2,500.
That's just how far off the ground we are. Let's go
2,500.
into AgPed. Oh, we will return. I wonder how we.
Traffic 1328 is on a 2-mile final. Castle traffic.
So we exit there. So I think what we'll do is we'll go into heading mode and set ourselves up just for the leg, bring in some flap. So all we've done now is switch into instead of following the lines, the flight computer, you can see it's dash and not following it because we're now using heading mode. It's quite good, you can see in the flight computer.
Short final, Castle traffic, speedway 1328.
So that's the guy who's landing, which is over there, flashing his lights at us. Newcastle traffic, Easy 185 is leaving the hold downwind for a 15-mile final runway 07, Newcastle traffic. So we're just letting him know what we're doing. We're no factor at all for him now. Just get ourselves sorted out and then we'll land. So you can see basically we want to double back on ourselves. The runway is behind us. We also know that because it's 070 and we're on a heading of 230 at the moment. So we'll just swing ourselves around. Quite about 100 degrees. Slow ourselves down. Ooh. Zoomed out using the mouse wheel. Guys here will get a good view. Swinging over the top of the town.
Castle traffic 1328 is clear of the active. Taxiing via Charlie.
Cool. So that means he's clear of the runway, which is good. Might be able to see him when we're on the ground. All being well. Let's just increase our speed a little bit. So we'll pull it out of the manage speed mode. It's just because it. Well, I think it's saying set hold speed because it expects us still to hold, but we can clear out that hold. Let's see. There we go. Clear that. Clear that. Fine, that's disappeared. And then bring in the localizer so we can have a look at that and hit low. So as that needle moves in, it's intercepting it. And basically that will guide us into the runway. So if you've not done an instrument approach before, I am not qualified at all to teach you how to do it, but you want this line here to line up between these two lines. And as this diamond triangle comes down, we'll engage the approach mode. And that's basically showing our profile. So at the moment we're below, because if we were going to follow it, it would say follow the diamond, and that'd be going up the way, but we stay at the same height, and as we get closer to the runway, it obviously it drops down, because the closer we get to the runway, the lower we'd want to be. And if we stay at the same height, eventually it'll intercept.
2,500.
There's our man. Just keeps telling us all the information. Newcastle traffic, Easy 185 is on a 9-mile final, runway 07. So we'll hit approach, and you can see it's engaged the glide slope and the localizer. So now it'll start to descend, so it keeps that diamond bang in the middle of that yellow line. It keeps that diamond there. So this is your vertical profile and your horizontal profile. Drop in more flaps. See the runway out in the distance. There it is. I'd say you can brief yourself just as we get to Newcastle. We know we're going to come in this way, so we need to basically exit via Charlie or at the end, and then we're taxiing all the way back down to here. We'll drop the landing gear. Give you guys a view of this. Cool. You can hear the drag now as we come in. As we get closer, about 5 miles, we'll re-engage manage speed. In fact, we'll do it now just to slow ourselves down. So push that up, and we'll put in full flaps. You'll see them coming down here. And what the airplane's trying to do is target now its approach speed, which is the 140, which matches on the performance page full flaps 152. It's actually slightly below what I'd expect, but we can handle it. That's all good. We do need to arm our spoilers, so it's quite useful. This little checklist here, it's saying spoilers arm.
1,000.
Pull that up. Now we're at 1,000 feet. We'll disengage the autopilot. Let's see if we can make it a smooth landing. So we're still slightly high there. You can see the diamond, the pink diamond's gone down, so we need to follow it. Not too much.
500.
Nice on profile. A little bit to the right now we need to go because the diamonds, the horizontal diamonds move to the right. And that's just because
400.
sometimes we get a bit of wind.
300.
Coming in, passenger view. It's not to jack too much, so we're slightly low now. Just recorrect.
200.
A couple of aircraft you can see on the left hand side there parked up. There they are.
100. 50. 40, 30, 20, retard, 10, 5.
It's alright. Nice little touchdown. You can see the spoilers are up. I don't think... Oh, we might make actually this turn off. There we go. Nice. Welcome to Newcastle, everyone. So that was something different, bit of holding that we had to do as we came in. Just slow it down. Don't want to rush anything here. Obviously things are a bit narrower. You can cancel speed brakes, and then we'll bring the flaps in as we taxi towards the terminal. And we'll just announce that we're clear the runway once we've swung around this corner. Newcastle traffic, Easy 185 is clear 07, taxiing to the terminal. Easy 185. I could have said what taxiways etc. we're using, but it's not a very busy place. We're going to do that. We'd say we're coming down Delta and point taxi on this side here. You can see the parking stand if you want. So this is Delta. Stand 10 maybe, or stand 11 or stand 12. Going a bit fast down here. Bring on the flaps. And we'll also start the APU because we need that when we're on stand. Flaps are still coming up. It's probably a noise everyone recognises from being in the back of an airplane if you've flown a lot. So, nice evening in Newcastle, sun setting. Probably take off our navigation lights now. Taxi lights just at the moment. Big old airplane in front of us. The reason they have the funny liveries is it's not always easy to get matching liveries to the traffic in Vatsim, so they're still working on that. There is a something called AIG traffic, which some people use. That does work. Slow it right down. Swinging next to this person. There we go, guys. Welcome to Newcastle. Parking brake comes on. We'll just make sure our throttles are back, neutral, and we can switch the engines off, at which point Flight Simulator will present me with a wonderful menu saying I've completed my flight. Everyone undoing their seatbelts in the back, of course. Again. Turn the beacon off. I wonder if this will work a little bit now. So if we go your options, ooh, aircraft, jetway. Ah, yes. This man here has got all the baggage in the pushback truck. Oh, we can do this, hold on. Bit of catering, bit of baggage, is that going to work? Oh, there they are. Nice. So guys, we'll see if this works. Yep, he's getting in. Caterer going in. So look, we unload first batch of passengers. We'll watch this just for a bit. If we go in the cockpit, there's not much else we really need to do at the moment. We've got that. You can see the computer's reset itself. Can take off our fuel pumps because we don't need those anymore until we're ready to go again. Got the APU going. We'll put the APU bleed on as well. Seatbelt sign can come off, as can that, and the emergency exits. And so we'll let everyone unload, and then we'll get on our way again to Dublin. And I'll do just a little bit of prep just for that, getting the new flight plan ready to go into sim brief. We'll use the same call sign. So we're going to Newcastle to Dublin. A320 Neo again. Have a look at this person out here. Or we can have a look at all the bags. I mean, technically they should be coming off, not going on, but I'm not sure it's meant for turnarounds. The old flight simulator. So it's a similar flight time over to Dublin. Fire a flight plan for that. I'm gonna just grab a drink, guys. So I'll leave you to view the outside of the airplane for the moment, and I'll be back soon. Okay guys, we are back after setting some things up. I'm not sure what's happening next to us in the aircraft. There's a lot of noise from those engines, and you wouldn't normally have engines running on stand. But yeah, all good. So we've got a really short taxi for our departure. This time we'll be going out to here because we landed on this runway here. Let's jump back in and see what we can get going. I wonder if this... Still got... Oh, hold on. Something's happening with the baggage. They're all going. Okay, cool. That's all good. That's what we wanted. Let's see if we can pre-plan our pushback this time. See if it works. Oh, yeah, we kind of want to go here. Up to this line. Why don't we do about there? We'll hit enter. Oh, hold on. I have to press it down. There we go. Right. We'll get to that in a bit. So that's the bags loaded on for our next stage to mighty Dublin. Let's get back in here. Set this up again. Get the fuel pumps turned on. The APU is still running, which is good. We'll get the no smoking signs on. And arm the emergency exits. Get into sim brief quickly, and we will bring our new flight plan, which you can now see is Newcastle to Dublin. Hi Ian, welcome. So we've just loaded in into the fly pad this. We need 4,600 kilograms. We're at 3,400, so we'll go with about, let's do 5,000, just in case there's any delays. We had to hold as we came into Newcastle, and that was unexpected, but there's an aircraft coming in. Again, we can bring in our flight plan this time. This is the one from Newcastle to Dublin. Same flight number, Easy 185, going up to 23,000 feet this time. So not as high as the previous leg of the trip. In terms of if we bring it into our Navigraph, so what does it look like? So we'll take off out towards the east coast, turn ourselves, and this is the I'm gonna see the girl one tangle, girly one tangle, great name. So out here, right turn, maximum of flight level 80. There's some speed restrictions which will follow that down south, basically across the Irish Sea, just north of Wales, and then into Dublin. Oh, Ian, good question. Both are good. I flew the Boeing a lot in X-Plane, the Zeeble mod, which is great. I think it's a bit more rustic, is probably the term I'd use, than the new Airbus here. Both are great. I think the one in Flight Sim's gone on leaps and bounds since we since it was released, and it's had quite a checkered life, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty good. And then we've got the arrive on here, so Bagso 1 kilo, basically coming to Bagso and Kirav, and then we'll navigate ourselves into the runway. There might be, if there's air traffic control, and they might navigate ourselves. Be interesting to see. We've all been landing sort of in this direction, so we might have to navigate ourselves into Dublin. We'll see where we get to. And just, if you weren't here when we landed at mighty Newcastle, we're parked up here, and we'll basically push back, come to Alpha 1, and then take off. So not a long distance at all. Let's get some people on our plane. Weight and balance. Send again and start. It's a bit random in this mod. People don't actually get off the plane. They just we kick them off to be 120 passengers. EGNT is Newcastle departure, runway 07. It's the girly one. Angle. Hey, Dre Lauder. Welcome. So we insert that, and then we've got the Dublin arrival. Really good question. What runways in use in Dublin? Let's see what the weather looks like. 110 knots, which would mean that it's gonna be 10, right? Loads of arrivals for Dublin. Just have a flick through them just to make sure we're not missing anything. So I think we will take a bag. So let's do 1 Zulu. See what that looks like when we actually get over there. Might change it as we get through. A couple things just in the background that I need to do from some brief. Do that.
Newcastle traffic, this is EC2636, established on ILS 407.
Yeah, the Bagdell 1 Romeo is our absolute choice, although I've gone for a Zulu, haven't I? That's the wrong one. 1 second. 1 Romeo, I think, will get us nicely around to the runway, so let's do that. Insert. We'll just go through the flight plan, make sure there's no discontinuities. Nothing there at the moment. Got the constraints still set. We're still on QNH of 1031. Be ready to go fairly soon. Still got everything set up here. Still the transponder on. All good. Get the air conditioning going. There's still that person who is running their engines on stand. And you would have just heard over there, traffic control there, there's someone coming to land. We'll just push back. What stand are we on? May as well let people know. Stand 10. Newcastle traffic, Easy 185 is pushing back from stand 10. Yeah, Newcastle traffic. Let's go, we're going up to flight level 230, so we'll get that sorted. And let's just quickly, before we push back, do our inits. Fuel planning, which is there. We should have done this before we said we're pushing back, but that's fine. There we go. Cool. Pushback. Let's request pushback. Here comes our man. Please push us back. Should we close that and reopen it? Otherwise, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Try it one more time. Here we go. Here we go.
This is ground. Stand by.
This is cool. Really good solid. This is what it's like on X-Plane. What it means we can do is just focus on starting the engines when we push back. Lift. But up we go.
We are cleared for start and push. Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brake comes off.
Brakes are released. Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence. It will start in the sequence.
Okay, we will. So. Please push us back. Interesting. This has definitely worked before. Oh, it's like live television. It's just...
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
We'll do this the manual way.
Brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Newcastle traffic, AC2636, Acadia runway 09.
Oh, hold on. What's that? There we go. That's random. Just want to make sure I'm not breaking anything here. Parking brake. Well, let's take that off. And let's try again. Here we go. Not really sure what happened there, guys. It's probably me doing something horrendously wrong. We'll play with this pushback thing a little bit more on streams. But at the moment I'm using pushback helper, so you won't be able to see what I'm up to. But we're finally underway. After a few technical problems, sun setting. Beautiful weather for a stream. And there's an EasyJet taxiing in, I think, in the distance. Engine's firing up. Wiggling our way down the line. Okay, we'll stop about here. Parking brake comes on, and we can get rid of the tug. There he goes. We can set our speed brakes and our auto brake. Get rid of the EPU. Should really turn the beacon on before we push back.
Flight attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
Nice. Let's get all our lights switched on. That's auto. Oh, hello. And that's auto. Turn taxi light on. Seatbelt. Again. Put you ever at risk. Taxiing with that on. Without on. Bring in one stage of flaps.
Once again, we'd like to welcome you on board.
With our American crew. I think this guy may want to wait for us. Wonder if there's room for him on the other side or not. Oh, he's coming in away, so he goes left, that's cool. Nice. And we're going to be going Alpha to Alpha 1. Newcastle traffic, EC185 is going to taxi Alpha 1 for runway 07, Newcastle traffic. Lovely. Get rid of the noise in the background. So guys, second leg, we're underway. Important to know about the oxygen mask, very important. So, again, a short little hop over to Dublin. Hopefully it's pretty nice weather en route. Nice weather in Dublin as well. Here's the EasyJet that's taxiing to its stand. Just gonna stop there. That's gonna be very awkward. Very awkward indeed. But yeah, there we go. Excellent. So he's turning on stand. Whereas we are taxiing out. Although he does like to keep stopping. Interesting. Don't want to really have a fender bender on the way to the runway.
Sorry, I'm having some lag.
It's not a problem. That was just him apologising. In he goes. Now that plane's popped back again, so his wing's gonna get very close to it. Oh no! No. Yeah, that's it's an insurance job. Right, let's get out of crazy Newcastle. Newcastle traffic, easy 185, lining up runway 07, immediate departure, Newcastle traffic. Let's go. Shame there's no air traffic control for you guys today, but oh good, we can handle it ourselves. Make some blind calls. Still can't get the banner at the top always to work. It seems to be alright at the moment, but then it freezes. Anyway, let's go, guys. Leave behind the terminal. Sun's setting behind us. Let's rotate. Nice view. Gear comes up. You can always hear in the background that rumbling. Oh, we'll plug in the autopilot now. We'll go into lever climb mode again. Just to make sure that the airplane is now controlling our speed. And it also controls our constraints that we have, which you'll see down here. It has to be above 2,000 feet and 210 knots. So you can see we're climbing up to 210 knots. We'll bring in the flaps. See them, these booms moving up the way. But we stick at 210 knots until we take our right turn. With flight levels as well. On QFE. Start our right turn. See the runway behind us. Beautiful evening. Away we go. So we're just following the departure at the moment, which is the Gurley 1 Tango. Let's get ourselves on here. So we just taking a right turn, we're heading towards NTS 12, which you can see here. It's plugged in the flight computer. Maximum 250 knots, and we have to be between 4,000 feet and so above 4,000, below flight level 80. So good. You can see that on the constraints here. So 250 knots plus 4,000. It's pretty good. So you can hear the engine spooling back now. You can get rid of the armed ground spoilers. We don't need those. And we can go back to norm on the engines. So basically our constraint, we have to be at flight level 80 at Gurley, which, if there's no one around, we sometimes would get a free climb out and there doesn't look to be too many people, but always a danger that we end up bumping into someone, which would not be good. But we can also take off our taxi light, just to make sure the cockpit isn't too dark as we come into Dublin. I want to see what the route looks like. It's pretty easy, mainly because the airplane does it for us. Flying down south, and then we take a west turn. This is Bagzo. This is where a lot of their arrivals start from, and then we'll go in around here and land on the runway. Should be all good. So what the airplane will do is once it gets to Gurley, it'll start to climb. We could climb before it, but we won't. We'll just leave ourselves to it and see what happens. We'd normally only be restricted here if there was aircraft coming over the top that we didn't want to climb up into, but it's pretty rare that if you're being controlled, they'll make you stick to the height constraints all the way out of the departure. Look at that though, sun setting right into our eyes. Winter flying. Nice. So what will happen once we get over Gurley, this is our constraint, which is 8,000 feet. You'll see everything happen at once, so the engines will spool up and we'll start to climb. Let's see what happens. Only got about 3 miles, 3.5 miles to run. So we're getting close. So once this changes to Tilney, it started, so you see we're going to thrust climb. Engines are spooling up over here. And then you'll see the climb rate go up as well. And you'll be able to hear it. So, because we don't have any more constraints, we can then climb up to our cruise level of 23,000. So that's how it works. So if you don't touch it, it will just do it for yourself. And you'd feel it in the back, you'd feel the G as you start to climb out again. And again, like we saw, as you get past 10,000, you can go above 250 knots. So you'll see the climb rate comes down as the nose comes down, as it builds speed, and then it will start to climb out again once it's built its speed up. So again, you can see that here. So we keep going at 1,300 feet, but then it's going up because we're getting near our climb speed of 290 knots. And once we're there, then we can raise the nose. Same in any other small aircraft, the way you pitch controls your speed. obviously the engines help too, but yeah, don't want to click that. But yeah, if you want to gain speed, lower the nose. If you want to lose speed, raise the nose. There's an aircraft up there. You can see we're going to take off. It's a right turn across the channel. Or the Irish Sea, not the channel. I don't think we should be calling it that. Where's that chap off to? Oh, he's coming into Newcastle, I think. Nice views in the UK today. Sun setting. Might not set by the time we get to Dublin itself. There's aircraft above us. He is going into Newcastle. We've got our lights on, so the strobes are on, the nav lights are on. Don't need our landing lights, and our nose light is off too, and our runway turn off lights. It's a shame the old pushback didn't work. I've tried it before and it has worked, so it might just be something that I did. Definitely recommend getting it if you're a fan of X-Plane and you've used the pushback mod there. It's exactly the same as that. It's pretty good. Can probably get the Dublin weather so that we are well ahead when it comes to prepping ourselves for landing. Still climbing, but we're almost at our cruise level of 23,000 feet, as you can see here. There's another airplane whizzing by our wing. I don't know who that was. Oh, that's another one going into Newcastle. Everyone's getting, it's very popular in Newcastle today for some reason. Alright. We have our company message. We've already got the last one that we had on the previous flight. Oh, we need this one, so we'll print it out. These wheels moving is just auto trim. As we're leveling off, obviously don't need as much trim to pull back on the elevators, so you'd expect it to move. Anyway, let's get to the approach phase. UNH is 1030 in Dublin. Temperature is 7 degrees. Tropical. And it's 110 knots. Which, straight down the runway, so no excuses for a bad landing, is what someone would say.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck, your captain speaking.
Oh, there's the American man.
As it begins to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet and elbows clear from the aisle, as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley carts shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating near the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
you can just see part of the coastline here of the UK. I think we'll probably follow it. I think that's Wales there, so we'll probably go here and then shoot off over this way. So we can also keep an eye on airplanes around us. So there is one who's just 900 feet below us. So we just want to watch that in terms of any potential conflict. He's off to Edinburgh, but we should pass. Because he's at a different flight level, we shouldn't be any factor. Might even see him. There's someone whizzing by. Which I think was that chap. Actually, that was someone else. Hard to keep up. Too many people flying. Actually, I think it was the guy going to Edinburgh. This guy, I think, is off to Belfast. Anyway, we're not going to hit him. It's going to be fine. We turn right here, it's going to be awfully bright as we face basically directly into the sun. Let's see where we are. Yeah, so that's the coastline here. Coming out. Start our right turn. Let's bring up, just get ourselves ready for Dublin. And the bags are, I'm not sure if this was right. The one Romeo, is that what we have got? Which one's currently in there? Yeah, the bags are one Romeo. Cool. So, in terms of the arrival, plasma vertical planning information. Bags are one Romeo. We need to be at Asda between, well, at flight level 80, flight level 80, flight level 80, flight level 80. Nico at 4,000. Where's Asda? Oh, there. So we need to be flight level 80 here. That's fine. again, we'll use our little computer. If it'll let me. There we go. And 8,000. And at 1,500 feet, it's about 65 miles, which isn't too bad. Okay, let's fly towards the sun. Again, just checking for other aircraft. There's one over there to the right, but we are following him. He's off to Belfast. Basically, we've got Liverpool and Manchester. So Liverpool, sort of down that way, I think, or it might be below us actually. Liverpool is over there, and Manchester then will be a bit further inland back this way. So you can start to see Bagzell coming in, and from Bagzell we sort of hook ourselves around to line up on the approach. Okay. Just making our way downtown. So cheesy. Where do we need to be? So Ekron is there, and then we want to be down Astor at flight level 80, and we know that it's going to take us about 65 miles to get down. So let's once Astor gets to about this point here between the 60 and the outer ring, we'll sort of be there. That's Elbon, and Astor will be next. Already put in the weather, and so we're in really good shape for a simple descent down into Dublin. Still coasting out. So I'm chatting away on the comms. So, here we go. As there, flight level 80. We're going to go down at 1500 feet. It's probably around the 70 mark, so we'll just do it at the moment. So, minus 1,500. Correct that. 8,000. Pull that down. We're back to 1,500. Vertical speed 1,500. And we'll start our descent into Dublin.
From the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen, as you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
It's all quite a mishmash here, but if you can see through it, the green line basically comes here, turns right, and goes round, and then comes back on itself, which is exactly what this is. So it's just, think of this as being this, but it's on its side. So we're coming in this way, and then we take a right turn, which is coming this way, taking a right turn, looping around, and then coming into the runway itself. Beautiful. It's a very nice evening actually over in Dublin. That's the Irish coast. Slowly descending down. You can see it's just on this map, approaching Bugsville. And what these approaches are designed to do is if it's busy, they'll send you right around every, so you see there's different approach points here, and then send you down. But what they might do if it's quiet is get you to here and then shortcut you in this way. So we'll see how busy it is and who's around. And we'll be doing it ourselves. There's no, at the moment, no air traffic control in Dublin. And again, we use the same sort of technique when we get near 10,000. We'll go into open descent to manage the speed. Cool, so we're just still gradually coming down, guys, to our 8,000 constraint, which we'll easily make by Asda. Oh, I didn't do the trick, I was distracted. We need to pull that because we're going a bit too fast. So now raise the nose to get down to 250 knots. That was my fault, I wasn't paying attention after saying I was going to do it.
KLM 777 now crossing runway 34, 207 holding point 10 knots. KLM 777.
So now it's pretty clear what the approach is, right? So we can overlay it as there, and then we go around the houses, nickel, and then actually there's a transition into Gannett, which is quite interesting. So we'll just follow this around. We could just go direct nickel. See if there's anyone else around.
KLM 777 now taxiing to holding point 10 right. I was aware of an incoming EasyJet, sir, how far are you?
If that's Easy 185, we are still a fair bit out. You've got time to take off. We're just starting our approach on the SID. Sorry, on the star, Easy 185.
Beautiful, thank you. KLM 777.
Cool, so you're just asking where we are. He is down there. Could have told him, given a wave. I think we'll go direct to Nickel and we'll descend down to 3,000 feet. Actually, we can do 4,000 to Nickel. That might make more sense.
Dublin traffic, catch at 4 Oscar Mike, push and start.
I think we'll just follow the approach because there's this chap is coming into. I'm not sure where he is going to go to. Let's just level off at 7,000 actually.
KLM 777 now departing 10 knots.
He's going directly in, so we'll follow him in. Not making any announcements though. Then we're just following our way around the approach. The arrival, not the SID, I said the star. Kind of, oh, there he is there. So he must be out there somewhere. The airport's now behind us.
KLM 777 now airborne out of 10 rounds, passing 3,000 feet. Dublin traffic.
So he started to descend. He's over there somewhere. Not a chatterbox, so doesn't want to tell us where he is. He's disappeared. Interesting. All right, so everyone can.
Dublin traffic line 3 Bravo Echo, descending to flight level 50.
It's not super helpful, but all right. That's the chap. I think. Yeah. So we'll just keep our descent going. We can't activate our approach phase just yet. That's him. The Ryanair. So we'll just give him a bit of space.
Dublin traffic line 3 Bravo Echo, descending to flight level 30.
We'll keep coming down. So you can see we're following the full arrival. Being very polite, we're letting everyone in today. We did it in Newcastle, we're doing it here. We're not in any rush, so all good.
Dublin traffic, Ketchet 4 Oscar Mike, text volume point 1134.
That's just because we've put in the local QNH, which is slightly different, so we'll keep coming down. I think we can go direct nickel now. We'll just take a shortcut. Cool. You can see we're quite far out. 26 miles to the runway. Need to select our auto brakes, which we'll do. Let's do low, because we're going to come in on 10 right, and we just want to really get off by Sierra 2 or Sierra 1, so that's not too bad. The terminal's over here. And we'll arm our speed brake. We've got our landing lights already. Nice evening.
Dublin traffic line 3 Bravo Echo on final approach for runway 10 right.
Let's get down to 3,000. I think we can actually go direct RISAP now. Otherwise the old mod is just taking a bit of a random route. There we go. And what we'll do now is engage the approach phase. So that'll slow us down. See the engines spooling back. And you can see that Ryanair's at least 10 miles ahead of us. Should start slowing down soon, if not we'll manually slow ourselves down, but you can see the speed is now coming back. First stage of flaps.
Dublin traffic, catch it 4 Oscar Mike, line up runway 34 and taxi.
It's getting up before the guy in front of us. Interesting. So, if you want to see where we are, this is us. We're coming in towards Rizap, and then we'll take a left turn. That's the person in front of us, and then there's someone taking off as well at the moment. Yeah, all good. Nice sunset effects. Again, for looking at the localizer.
2,500.
Wait for this line to come in, which you can see it is doing slowly. And then we'll hit localizer. See the airport over here. So we'll engage our and then you'll start to see the airplane turn left to intercept it like that. The vertical profile is still quite high, and therefore nothing will happen with that at the moment.
Dublin traffic, good evening, Iberia 078. Could someone give me a radio check, please?
Yep, 5x5.
Roger, that's 5x5 also. Could you just give me a wee, what seems to be the active runway in Dublin at the moment? Iberia 078?
It's 10 right for everyone at the moment. It's easy 185, we're on a 10-mile final.
Roger, thank you mate. 10 right on your similar. Cheers, bye-bye.
Not a problem. So, you can see there's someone just on the runway there, waiting for them to clear. We're on our 10-mile final. I think it's nicely lined up. Diamond's starting to come in. Person stop flashing on the runway. Never a good sign. But as this diamond gets nearer, it's below the last dot, we'll hit approach. And we'll wait for it to engage. Light slope is armed. It should turn green once it is captured. Which is now. So we start to descend on the glide. Normally... Oh, is that traffic? Excuse me? Maybe not. So normally you'd go about 180 knots is what you get given to, say, 60 ME. We can start configuring. When we put flaps in, it'll slow things down quite substantially. Just put landing gear down. That slows you down again pretty substantially. Got our flaps all set up now that we're at 5 DME. That's the alter marker beeping. Full flaps now. And Dublin traffic, easy 185 is on a 5 mile final, 10 right at Dublin traffic. Lovely! I don't know where that Ryanair went. He sort of was on the runway and then disappeared. Oh, hold on.
Right, or Dublin traffic line actually Bravo X is going to be taxiing by Whiskey 2 to Pier 1.
So he's clear. We're about 1,300 feet, about 1,000 feet. We'll disengage our autopilot and hand fly in. Lovely evening in Dublin. That's the autopilot disconnected. Still on profile, we're looking at this diamond and this diamond, so if it goes left, we'll go left. If it's right, it'll go right. Up and down.
Dublin traffic line at 3 Bravo X is going to be crossing runway 1634.
And then we're also looking at the wind, which is coming slightly from our right hand side, so you can see it's pushing us. And we're trimmed, so we just need a few adjustments.
500.
Looking good though, we're on profile. The lights on the runway, you want to have 2 white, 2 red.
Readability 5.
300.
That's the inner marker or the middle marker
200.
actually. Beeping away.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10.
And that's us down. Welcome to Dublin, everyone. Nice smooth little landing there. See, we haven't put our auto brake on medium, it was on low, so we have a bit longer of a rollout. That's all good. There's some high speed turns we can take here. Like this one on our left. Beautiful. Yeah, welcome to Dublin, everyone. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed the 2 flights that we did today. Just stop once we're clear and tidy up a few things. Bring the flaps in. And we'll see where we are. That's always quite important. So there was someone who was going down to Pier 2. We'll go next to this big old boy down here. He's on Pier 2. Dublin traffic, easy 185 is clear of 10 right, taxiing Whiskey 1, crossing 1634, Hotel 1, link 4 to Pier 2, Dublin traffic. Just go and plonk ourselves right next to the Iberia, I think. Pretty big. Start the APU again. slow it down slightly. Don't need landing lights anymore. Don't want to blind anyone. Don't need all my turn-offs. Now you can see down here, the APU's kicking in. Here we are, guys. Rolling in. Big old Iberia. We just plonk ourselves on the end here, I think. Which will work marvellously. Like, guys, really hope you've enjoyed the stream. If you're watching it back, try and catch us live. If you hit the subscribe button, you will get alerts when we go live. It means you can chat away, ask any questions as we go. Give it a like if you have enjoyed what you've seen here, and comment if you want us to do other things. So I'm very happy to do what would be useful for you guys. It's nice with the shadow there. Okay, parked up. We can kill the engines. On undoing their seatbelts in the back. And yeah, guys, look, super appreciate you being here. If you made it through the stream this long, you probably deserve a medal. Well done. And we'll do this again soon. Alright, guys, have a good rest of the evening and your weekend.